Hi, my name is David Weller, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my Job Corp experience. I don't really feel too comfortable doing this. I don't like talking about it. I've tried forgetting about it, and for some reason I just feel compelled to do this video and put it on. I doubt anybody will ever watch it. However, it's something I just got to do. First and foremost, I'm going to try to make this fast, so I've written down a few things to help me with this, and I'm sure I forgot a few things. I've been trying to block this out of my memory and just move on. Anyways, I went to Job Corp. I went to two of them for a few years, maybe 2 years. I went to Kentucky Job Corp and Alaska Job Corp. And long story short, I was qualified for an internship to the White House while at Job Corp in Alaska, and that chance was blown because of certain mishaps that shouldn't have been blown at all. I should have gotten that internship, if staff and things weren't so crooked there. Another incident at Job Corp, this one was in Kentucky Job Corp. A kid had a seizure. He had a seizure, and my friends wanted to call 911 to get help, and they were threatened by termination if they did, because I guess it would cost money to get the ambulance on the Job Corp center, or I don't know how that works. However, they were threatened termination if they called 911 for his help. Another nurse known as Nurse Vicky at Job Corp in Kentucky. This is around 2007, I believe. Maybe give or take a year. I'm not sure. I don't have the dates written down. This is all just very off the top of my head, and it's been a while. And anyways, her name is Nurse Vicky, and she did something to a student actually died, and this was confessed to me by another Job Corp staff member. So I won't name the name of this member. However, the Job Corp staff member herself explained to me that Nurse Vicky cannot be fired because there's a lawsuit going on, and she did cause that little girl's death, and it was some kind of malpractice, and they won't fire Nurse Vicky because if they do, it's a loss of the lawsuit and they'll lose or something. And anyways, it was Nurse Vicky's fault. Nurse Vicky also harassed me myself. I was cheated out of the Biggest Loser contest because she did not like me. She was a bit overweight, and I don't know if she was jealous that I've lost all this weight through running, and she's so weird. I don't know, she cheated me out of the contest, said I didn't sign up when I did. Completely childish, and there's a lot of this childish behavior going on at these Job Corp centers. I'm sure a lot of other students will agree with me. And now this is the worst one right here. Job Corp in Alaska, my teacher, Carol Heiser, actually lost my homework after she passed me. She lost my homework and said I had to redo it because I never did it. After she passed me. This was a report. This wasn't a little homework assignment. This was a 4 or 5 page report, and I can't remember which one it was. However, we had to do 3 all year, and she lost my second one, I believe it was, and she said I never did it after she already passed me. And she told this to the center director, Ken Northermer, at the time, and he believed her, without any question asked. When I confronted both of them, it was like, it was like, David, you don't even have a chance. This is what Carol's saying, so what Carol says goes. And other students confessed to Carol playing mind games. However, I don't know what was wrong with her. She did a lot of things, and she counted me tardy so many times when I wasn't tardy, and she had students spy on me. And when I say tardy a lot, I mean a lot. And I wasn't tardy. She counted me tardy so many times to get me in trouble, because that was the only thing she could do. Besides losing my report and saying I didn't do it after already passing me, she kept saying I was tardy and tardy. This way I would be on some kind of academic probation. And it wasn't true. I was always on time because I knew she was out to get me, so I was always on time. And even when I wasn't, I was still a good student. I did terrible in high school. Job Corp was my second chance to make something out of myself, and I would have, and I could have. I was qualified. I pre-qualified to an internship to the White House, and it was blown because of all of this BS. I'm sorry. but there was BS and it was all blown. And Carol, a staff member, confessed to me. This is a new staff member at Alaska Job Corp. Again, I will leave their name out of it for protection because I don't know if they work there or whatnot. Anyways, this new staff member confessed to me that Carol Heiser had a student asking for medical information about me behind my back, trying to get information about my medical history, and the student was also spying on me to try to get medical information behind my back, and just for personal gain and whatever. It was horrible, and I could prove everything I'm saying here. I can prove with little to no work. I'm not saying anything at all that I cannot prove. I've made sure of that. Okay? It might take some digging, and it might take talking to the right people and finding these people. However, I can prove it all. Okay? And I wrote letters of complaint while at Alaska Job Corp because I just got tired of it. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing bad. This is a whole new David Weller. I am doing fantastic, and my opportunities are being taken away from me. I'm such a good student. I'm trying so hard, and I'm being good. I'm staying out of trouble. This isn't the David Weller back in high school. And I wrote letters of complaint because this is my life. This is me. I don't have anything to lean back and fall back onto. I come from a misfortunate background, and so do all these students at Job Corp. They shouldn't be put through this stuff. And anyways, these letters, they got to Brian Dare, regional director of Job Corp on the west side or the east side? West side, sorry. So he's the boss of all the Job Corps on the west side. He reads my letters, and he knows there's some truth to it. You know, you can't just make up stuff like this. You just can't. So he calls me himself, and he says on the phone, David, I promise you, you will not be kicked out of Job Corp without a job and housing. I promise you that, because those were my two concerns at the time. I'm on my own. He knew this. And he says, David, again, word for word, he says, David, I promise you, you will not be kicked out of Job Corp without housing and a job. What happens? I think like a month and a half later, I'm kicked out and taken to the homeless shelter without a job. And it's during summer break, and I believe they did it because all the students there knew I wasn't so bad, and I don't think they wanted to start a riot or something. I don't know. Either way, it was a hush hush, and they brought me to a homeless shelter. I lost so many of my belongings. I had so much stuff saved up for my own apartment when I was gonna get on my feet, and I just lost so much. I was homeless for so long. It's amazing that I've made it, and I've got my own place now. Luckily, you can see I'm doing okay. You know. I've published a book. It's a good book. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. I'm doing good, and this Job Corps system, it's a good thing. However, the people running it are bad. They got way too much power over people who are already broken and come from a misfortunate background. It's not for the rich kids. It's not for those who come from white picket fence houses. It's for those who can't afford college, and most of them, from my experience, already have troubled backgrounds, and they don't need to be putting up with any more of this stuff. And some of the teachers there are good. However, like I said, internship to the White House lost. I love my life now. However, these things I'll never get back. And I've learned to move on, but something in me, I seen this guy today, less than an hour ago, who works at Job Corp. And he was working at Job Corp when I was a student there. And he's still working there. I just seen him at the coffee shop, and it just brought back all these weird feelings. And I like the guy, and it still brought back all these weird feelings. And maybe this will help out some other students before they go in. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to help me clear my conscience. There's more. This is just some of the stuff off the top of my head. And I can prove it with digging and talking to the right people. Every single thing I said, I can prove it with time and the right resources. Okay? Take care. God bless. The truth about Job Corp.